Good morning, beautiful people. I pray that this message reaches you all doing well. I pray that your household is filled with joy and your soul is filled with peace, okay? So I've shared this before, but one of my, prophetic giftings is pattern recognition. And when I start to see different patterns happen in my life or in people's lives around me, eventually the Lord will give me the revelation on what that pattern is and what it means. So this morning, he confirmed this word, false alarm. A lot of times we are wired within us that when we get that email from a particular person or we get a phone call from a particular person, particular group of people, like whatever it is, an organization, a company, immediately your body like goes into high alert, like, oh my gosh, what is this? This is going to be bad. What are they reaching out to me for? But I've come to tell you that it was a false alarm. And I need you to shift your perspective in this hour because I know a lot of us are operating from a place of trauma. And when we get the phone call or we get the email, immediately our bodies say something is wrong, but it was a false alarm. So whether it was a medical report, whether it was some type of, company email from your job or an organization you are partnering with or working with, whatever the case is, it was a false alarm. Follow me. In the book of Numbers, when Moses was, taking the people into the promised land, or he was supposed to be taking the people into the promised land, right? He sent over 12 spies to spy out the land to see what was going on. 10 of those spies came back with a very bad report saying, these people are too big, they're too mighty, they're too strong. We can't go over there. We can't overtake the land. This is going to be too hard. Da 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 da, bop bop, okay? And it pissed the Lord off so bad. I'm using the word pissed. Yes, it pissed the Lord off so bad because they were grumbling, they were complaining, and they were so negative about, what they saw that it started influencing all the people around them. So the rest of the community started grumbling. They were ready to stone Moses. I'm talking about they put this man through it, talking about y'all should have left us in Egypt because in Egypt we had food. Now we coming out here, we don't got no food. And now the land we're supposed to take is filled with these big men that's going to kill us and take our families and blah, 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 blah. But we thank God for Nun and Caleb, right? Because Nun and Caleb, the Lord said that they had a different spirit. They had a different perspective. So even though everything around them looked a little, shaky, uncertain, maybe even unstable, they had the right spirit to know what the spirit of the Lord was doing in that hour. Caleb said, yeah, the land is flowing with milk and honey, but guess what? The Lord has already put these people and this land into our hands. The Lord is no longer with them. And I want that to encourage you today because there has been many bloodline altars that have been fighting against you for generation after generation after generation. I'm talking about those altars of poverty, them daggone altars of witchcraft, those marine kingdom altars from the octopus to the Leviathan to the Jezebels. All of those different spirits have been fighting you since the day you stepped on this earth. But I want you to know that it's a false alarm because guess what? Those altars have been destroyed. But many of us are still believing and thinking and seeing like, oh no, these altars are still here. I still got to fight. I still got to fight. I still got to fight. Not realizing that the very, situations you thought were coming to destroy you have actually built you, elevated you, and catapult you into your next level. It was a false alarm. So after the children of Israel, grumble and complain, the Lord makes a decree that, listen, y'all have literally just, been so disrespectful to everything I have done. You saw me part the Red Sea. You saw me do all these amazing things, taking you out of Egypt, always providing for you, and you still don't believe in me. So guess what? All of the children, 20 years and older, I believe it was, y'all will not see the promised land. He made that decree. So that whole generation had to be wiped out before they could walk into the promised land. That will not be your story because we are here now. We are here now. It is time, hallelujah, for the restoration. It is time for our redemption. It is time for us to truly step into our promised land and our inheritance that has been held up in the heavenlies. But if you don't align with that, if you think everything coming at you is about to take you out and you can't see that God is actually building you and restoring you as the chaos is ensuing around you, You can be partnering with the wrong spirit. I want to encourage you. God is not playing about his children in this hour. Those altars have burned and they have fallen. The people that was operating those altars are scrambling and they are afraid for their lives in this hour. Because that same loving God is also a consuming fire when you touch his children. So I want you to know that medical report was a false alarm. That notice from your housing company, that notice from, your insurance company, that notice from whoever, the notice from your HOA, false alert, false alarm, false alarm. And I'll even share this with you guys real quick. Oh my gosh, because I got to make this story a little bit more real so you get it. So our HOA did an inspection of our properties. And I got a notice saying that two of my window seals needed to be replaced. And I was like, okay, cool. However, they only gave me less than 14 days to complete the job. So I'm like, this don't even make sense. This is not even like a reasonable time to get it done. Like, you're literally setting me up here for failure. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, I'll do my due diligence. I'll call the warranty company because the windows are still under warranty, and I'll do everything I can do to try to, meet their deadline. I call the warranty company. They talk about, girl, it's going to take at least 8 weeks for us to come out and blah, 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 blah. So I said, okay, what can I do? I'm not going to sit here and panic and run around the house and call a private company and spend a whole bunch more money to try to meet a deadline that is not reasonable. So anyways, I wrote a letter back. And then he asked me for additional information, sent the additional information over, and I left it alone. Because I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of scrambling every time I get an email or a phone call, thinking it's going to be negative, thinking it's going to... False alarm. Because now they're talking about they're extending it to December. Why didn't you do that from the beginning? Like, how are you going to give people less than 14 days to fix a whole maintenance issue, and the date of the letter is not even the date that the people actually get it in their mailbox? False alarm. Whatever's going on in your body, you go to the doctor and you're like, oh, I got this pain, I got this. Doctor don't see nothing. False alarm. It's the residue of them altars still trying to come after you. It's the residue of these little wicked, dusty, stinking altars still trying to burn a little flame here and there. But no, just do your due diligence to walk through the process. But no more fear, no more worry. No, because it's our time to rise. If God be for you, who can be against you? I'll wait. If God be for us, who can be against us? All right. Love you guys. Bye.